Hey everyone, my name is Krista and I am a middle school language arts teacher. And today I want to show you how to use CoGrader to grade persuasive essays. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own rubric. That means that the rubric that I'm going to give students to give them their final assessment on their work is the same rubric that CoGrader is going to use to give students feedback on their drafts. So all I'm going to do is click Create Rubric, and then I'm going to import the rubric straight from my Google Drive. Once this is uploaded into CoGrader, I look at it and make sure that CoGrader has pulled all of the necessary, most important things from my rubric into its system. So most importantly, with the persuasive essay, what we're really looking for is a very clear and compelling thesis and also lots of relevant examples to support their ideas. So I'm just going to make sure that these two criteria are exactly what I'm looking for. And when I'm satisfied with it, I click Save Rubric. And now that I have that rubric uploaded, I'm ready to grade my students' assignment. So again, I'm just going to import directly from Google Classroom. When I get that assignment connected from Google Classroom, I put in the prompt that I gave to students, and I am going to then select my rubric. Now, the one I uploaded is right there. It's still looking good. I'm going to import and grade. Once CoGrader has used my rubric to give the student feedback, I can go ahead and look really quickly. What is the summary? How is this kid doing overall? So what I'm seeing is that they have a very clear thesis, and then they have some strong reasoning. It's well organized and it's written in a persuasive style, which sounds great. This sounds like exactly what the assignment was asking for. The grow that CoGrader offers is strengthening your argument by adding specific examples or statistics. Now, that was a big thing talked about in class, so I want to make sure that the student does have very specific examples. This think about it question, I think, is really helpful because it is getting the student to think about, okay, what is a specific example or statistic? And I'm actually just going to add a think about it question that I want this specific student to think about. The thesis of this student's work was that people need to be adaptable in order to be successful in modern society. So I added, think about a specific time in your life, maybe during a basketball game or practice, when you had to be adaptable in order to be successful. Now, I really like that I can super customize the feedback that CoGrader will share with this student, because I know this student is very into basketball. Then I know that, hey, I want you to draw on this real life experience that you have had and incorporate that into your persuasive essay. I want this student to think about what's a time they had to be adaptable, because that specific real life example is going to bolster their argument. So I added that to the think about it section. Down here in the specifics of the rubric, CoGrader tells them that they have a great thesis. They quote it here to prove, hey, look at your thesis. It is very strong. Down here, they got only 20 out of 25 because they do have some really good reasons. They have some supports, but again, there needs to be more specific examples, like it says in the think about it question. Organization, very strong, very logical. Language and style, the students stayed very focused on being persuasive. They had a clear goal that they were trying to achieve, and they stuck with that throughout. As far as mechanics, it says that this student has some comma splices. Now, I know that this is something that basically all of my students are working on. So I'm going to just add a little note down here that again makes it custom and specialized to my class. And so I'm just going to reference an activity that we did in class together to refresh the student's mind on how to make sure they're not writing with comma splices. So I just made a note down here. Look at your notes on the commas are weak links activity we did in class. That was an activity where we specifically addressed comma splices. So putting this into the CoGrader feedback is going to help that student write clear and coherent sentences. So that is how I use my own rubric with CoGrader's tools to give feedback to students on this persuasive essay. Hope this was helpful. See you next time.